Hey guys, Chris at Tillman Family Farm. So we are right in the middle of ending a very long project that we've done here this year. I'm sure that you, if you're a gardener, you've often wondered when you're in the aisle at the grocery store, will any of those dried beans on the shelf, will they grow? Well, we did that, and we've done several gardening videos and updates throughout that. I'm going to piece together a lot of this information from other videos, but I'm also going to show you, because I'm harvesting the last bit of what we planted from the grocery store, and I think that you're going to be very surprised at the result. All right, so this is a row of black beans, this is a row of black beans, and this is a row of black beans. So these we planted these from a dried bean pack at the grocery store. We did this with pinto beans, kidney beans, and black beans. The pinto beans and the kidney beans have already been he's so jealous I'm not talking to him, have already been harvested. Jamie's already been canning. We'll be canning some more of those today, but I want to show y'all. So that's just a couple of plants that I've picked so far. Each one of these rows in the other two yielded me a whole entire 5-gallon bucket full of peas and beans to be shelled. But what I'm doing is I'm just grabbing them like that, and that way, so these are a one and done type deal. Plant them, pick them, and then pull your pods. So let's take a little journey back through all the other video that I've done so far. I did take some video back when I started planting these, so we'll put that in here, and then I'll take you in and I'll show you some finished canned product. Will they grow? That is the question. So I am out here at my garden. I already have tomatoes over there. I got a lot of other stuff over here. A lot of seeds in the ground. I am going to plant all of these, and I'm gonna, I guess, progressively look at this over the next couple of weeks to see if they grow. Wish me luck. All right, so that one bag of dried beans is gonna plant 3 rows about 30 feet long. I'm gonna show you how I plant it. So you can see right here, that's a row, and you can see the white in there. That's the bean. You got that one, and you got another one right here, and then you got another one right here. So now, let me show you how heavy I planted these things, because you can see them down in there. I planted them this heavy because I don't know if they're going to grow or not, but you can see them all up through there. We're about to cover them up and get some water on them. So these are pintos. The other ones are kidney beans and black beans. So we'll see how it goes. Sunflowers down the end. These are black beans. This is red kidney beans, and these are pinto beans. And then, all right, so once you grow dried beans from the grocery store, this is where they end up, going through the canning process. These are the pinto beans. Jamie's starting with pinto beans this morning, but let me take you over here. This is kidney beans, and there are still kidney beans that have not been canned. So yeah, so how many jars you said this was, about 40?
That was 40, but total we shelled 18 pounds.
Yep, 18 pounds of kidney beans. There's almost 18 pounds of pinto beans too,
yes,
wasn't it?
but both of them are the same.
So as you saw earlier in the video, I just started picking the black beans, so we'll probably do a little update on that. But man, this for us is what homesteading is all about, is turning the garden into stuff that we can put in the pantry. So we are going to do a canning specific video, but just for the sake of this, I'm going to explain this process to you really fast, just so you get a good idea of what it entails to can things yourself here on your own farm and preserve your own food. So as my wife diligently works here, I'll explain this, and she is definitely going to correct me when I say something wrong. So one of the biggest things, jars have to be very cleaned, sanitized, and you want to keep your jars at a certain temperature. You don't want to put them into a canner when they're cold, because that's just going to spell disaster, and they're probably going to bust. So these are pint jars that she's filling up. She's filling them up with hot water. No salt in these, right?
No salt.
So with me being a heart patient, Jamie's learned to can with no salt, which we have not been able to tell a difference with much of anything. Anyhow, so that's about a cup of beans per jar, and she fills them up to the bottom rim. Point out your bottom rim there. And you do that to leave headspace. And she's going to do this and let all the air bubbles out of it. And then she's going to get a brand new cap, not the ring, but the cap, brand new every time. Don't reuse your caps. But she'll clean the rims of those, and then she'll put the cap and ring on, and then they go into the canner. Different beans have different time on the canner. I know what a lot of y'all are saying, that's a glass cooktop. Yeah, we've been doing it on glass cooktop for like 10 years, so yeah. Anyhow, but that is what takes the longest process. The ones yesterday, how long did you have to leave them in there?
About 50 minutes.
50 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, with them being fresh, they don't take as long. But if they were dried beans, they do take longer.
Right.
So most beans, if they're dried, we're talking about individual beans. So green beans are a totally different thing.
Yeah.
But if they were dried beans, they take like 75 minutes for pints.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
Yeah, and guys, you can do this in different sizes. We do pints because we know we can open up more if we need to, or we can have fewer and won't waste if we open a big jar. So, but anyhow, that's the canning process in a nutshell. We are going to do some videos on that. We do have a video on canning greens way back in our video catalog. But see, that's what she does. She
this is how I
keeps
keep my jars hot.
Yeah. Gets them good, clean, and sanitized, and then puts the oven on very low, and just keeps them warm that way. She's got this stuff down. She's been doing this stuff about, oh gosh, getting close to 20 years. Yeah. That sounded so tiring.
I'm tired after yesterday.
I bet. From the dried bean aisle at the grocery store to the garden into our cabinet. So guys, at this point it's really hard to tell. So we've gotten 40 jars of kidney beans out of the garden from the dried beans at the grocery store. We're probably going to get that many of pinto beans. I've just started shelling black beans, so I don't know how that's going to turn out. But we have done extremely well with this project, and we are very, very pleased. There you have it. We have come full circle with the dried beans from the grocery store aisle. So, will we do it again? Absolutely. Do I encourage you to do it and try some things like that? Absolutely. This turned out really good for us. We ended up with a lot of stuff. Very pleased with it and have zero complaints. Everything grew really nice. Was easy to take care of. Everything was a one and done pick like we showed you earlier in the video. So good to go. Canning process is about halfway done. We have one bean that is done. We're about halfway through pinto beans right now. Just started shelling black beans, so over probably the rest of this week, maybe in the evenings or something, we might get them done. But that's about it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe even learned a little something. We appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't done so, please go down and like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you'll see all the videos we put out. And we will see you on the next video.